Good morning. Z900. Way better line. Welcome back, Anonymous Biker USA. First time here, consider subscribing, hit that thumbs up. All of those who have been on the ride, thanks for coming back. Well, we're out on the 2024 Z900 by Kawasaki. Those of you who have been on the channel for a while know, hard to believe, but I bought this bike in November of 23. Already a year and a half on this thing. Hard to believe. So I figured the first few videos I posted about this about a year ago, I'm still getting questions about it. That video's climbing up to the 15,000K plus view mark, and people, how you like it? You still ride it? Do you still have it? Well, here it is. So let's talk about a sport naked category, and if you're here watching this video, obviously you're interested in it, or you're thinking, I wonder if a sport naked is for me. Let's talk about it. So the sport naked category, you name the manufacturer and a pretty good chance that they make one. So there are a ton of choices, whether it's the Aprilia Tuono, the Ducati Monster, the Triumph Speed Triple, on and on and on and on and on. There's a lot of them. But if you're looking at the Z900, pretty good chance you're looking at the Yamaha MT-09, because they're pretty comparable. And if you're shopping the Kawasaki, you're going to the Power Sports dealer, and the MT-09 is sitting right next to it. So those other bikes, if you're looking at them, all have different offerings, of course, different classes, and you know, the Triumphs, Ducatis, a little more price. So value-wise, the Kawasaki, the Yamaha, probably going to get the most bang for your buck for the most part. But I'm here to talk about the Z900 and if it's for you. Now this bike, stock, 124 horsepower, 72 foot-pound of torque, and it does come in on the heavier side of all the other ones I mentioned, roughly 468 pounds wet. Now you can shave some weight, take off the big old stock exhaust, which I did, put a Leo Vinci slip on, so that shaves some weight. However, I don't feel the weight to be an issue when I'm riding this particular bike. With the MT-09 coming in at, I think it's right around 420 pounds, so it's substantially lighter. So it's going to be your personal choice. It's up to you. But price-wise, they're pretty much match for match. And look, it's a Yamaha, it's a Kawasaki. With either of them, you can't go wrong. Super fun, reliable, not that expensive. But let's talk about why you're looking at the Z900, purpose, intent, and all that good stuff. And you can hear the engine braking of the inline 4. So for me, the Z900 serves as a secondary bike. I bought this for a couple of hours in the weekends, rip around the mountains and back home. And for that purpose, it is absolutely phenomenal. Super fun, super sporty, reliable. Cost of ownership is nil. I mean, change the oil, change the filter. It's a Kawasaki. Inline 4, I find the power to be extremely sufficient. I'm 215 pounds, 5'11", and this thing hauls me around with ease. So if you're lighter, not a problem. There's the sheriff doing the speed limit. So, you know, you got to think about that when you get into it. But power-wise, I mean, this thing, it actually, I can never fully ride this to its full capability. It's too much power for the street. I mean, you know, when I got this, I thought, oh, maybe I could do some track days, but two things happened. One, it's hard to get the time, and two, it is not cheap. Track days are expensive. So I didn't get to do that, but that's where you could find and shine this bike to its full capability. Granted, your riding skills match, because on the track, this thing would be a little demon. But on the street, ample power. I mean, just ample power. So, like I said, value, you want something with punch. And why would you buy a Sport Naked? Well, you get the joys of a sport bike in an upright position. You're not crouched over all the time like this, so it will save your back a little. However, mind you, it's still pretty sporty. I mean, my legs are at a hard 90. The pegs are high, obviously, for the clearance. And I am slightly forward, not near as far as a sport bike, but I am slightly forward. So, you know, just want to keep that in mind if you are looking at this. Wind protection is absolute zero as expected. So if you're expecting this little thing to do anything, zippo. It is full blast all the time. So if you're looking at this for a commuter bike or even more, you know, some people say, oh, you can tour on it. Can you tour on it? Theoretically, yes. I mean, you could tour on a Sportster if you want. Depends on your willpower. But functionality, practical, probably not the best choice. If you're looking for a daily commuter, you probably want something like the Kawasaki Versus 650, great value, more wind protection, and some cargo. This has zero cargo space, no storage unless you buy a tail bag. So you're going to fit your bare essentials. So this is the slimmed down version when you go for a ride. You're putting your phone in your jacket pocket, and maybe a bottle of water and a snack or whatever else in your tail bag, and you're rolling. And if you're okay with that, this is an awesome choice. The TFT I find easy to read, very functional. There are a lot of different settings on this. You can have it a white background or a black background. I find it super easy and functional. And right now we are in road mode, and this does have road, sport, and rain. And when we get to where we're going to put it in sport and enjoy the mountains a little more on this. So it's very versatile when it comes to that aspect of riding. So I highly recommend the Z900 for the price to value as a secondary bike, ripping around the mountains, enjoying yourself. Looks good, feels good, and it's, I mean, it's so easy to ride. So easy. I have a little mount on my handlebar with the motorcycle GPS right here. Now, I have taken this bike. I think the longest I've been on this bike was about 8 hours one day. And I was ready to get off. So, you know, bear in mind, I have the stock seat and about 4 hours and I'm good. It starts feeling like a brick. I do know there are aftermarket options for it. So, you know, that's always an option as well. But again, if you're buying this as a secondary bike, like myself, you're buying it for a year or two, have some fun, probably flip it and see what else is out there. So, you know, those of you who have been with me from the get-go when I got this, I said I'd keep it 1 or 2 seasons, enjoy it, and I've had it, like I said, year and a half now, a lot of fun, and getting out on it today will be fun. So, but it is what it is, right? You know, it's one trick pony, sport naked, fun on the weekends for me. Now, I know somebody out there is going to send me a video link of a guy that rode this around the globe. Always happens. And as I said, I know you can do that. It is more than capable. Would I want to do it? No. Could I do it? Yeah. But that's why we have so many choices with motorcycles, because there's so many that do so many different things. The balance on this bike, as you just saw, coming to a red light, awesome. Engineering, awesome. Cornering, excellent. The stock tires, pretty good, no real complaints. I put these little bar end mirrors on from Amazon. I like the aesthetic of it. Sorry about the wind noise. I like the aesthetic of it. The functionality, 1 to 10, I'll give it a 5. They're okay. I didn't like those big rabbit ear stock mirrors. They look like alien antennas to me, but they coverage-wise, they're great. Hence why they're on there, right? Duh. But I wanted to show you, we're gonna jump on this Highway 400 here, just so you can kind of get a feel of the wind noise, and we'll be able to get a little more speed. So come on, you gotta yield. There's nobody coming. Holy crow. The skies aren't looking too promising. Been having so much rain. But we're gonna go full on highway riding. So, you know, hey, if you are thinking about getting this as a commuter, here you go. I wouldn't want to do this every day with this kind of wind, but that's your choice. Now, the inline 4 does sound fantastic. You have to give it the Kawasaki on that. Alright, so 6 speed, obviously, and here we're just rolling along at 78 with traffic. Let's get over. Alright, now we're doing 85. So this is basically your typical commute on a Sport Naked. You know, obviously the wind is ripping around, bashing my head, my chest. So this, to me, every day would not be enjoyable to face. I get on this just to get up to the roads I want to hit, so this is only about 20 miles worth of my ride. I think this bike shines on the back roads, the twisties, and the technical roads and the track. I mean, I have not put it on the track, but I've seen it on the track, and I mean, if you get it for that, boy, it's a real value. So obviously, if you had a sport bike, you'd be way more sporty. You'd actually have better wind protection because you'd have a lot more fairing, a lot more plastics, and a higher windscreen. But that comes with the position of way more aggressive, more crouched. So I don't know if you want to be in that position either. Again, your call. I'm not here to tell you what to get. Just telling you my experience with the Z900. We're at about 3,000 miles on this bike now. And for those of you who just said, you don't even ride it, this is bike number 5 for me in the garage. So I ride them all equally. Well, actually that's not true, because I ride my Indian Scout a lot, and I ride my Himalayan a lot off-road. But alright, so we're in 6th gear, right? Let's just show at 82. Let's just say we want to pass this vehicle, right? Here's the roll-on. Right, easy peasy. I mean, that was nothing. So we'll get over here. Ample power. And again, that was no downshift. 6th gear, goosing the throttle. And I mean, this bike has so much more to give. So it cruises easy, mid-80s. You know, we're about 5,000 RPMs. This guy redlines at 11,000. I will say though, mid-80s, if you don't crouch a little, you do start getting a little bit of helmet lift, which that's not always fun. So know, there goes a Rivian full electric SUV. So I'm doing 80 and people are ripping by me. Speed limit 65. Here comes a bike up on my left. Let's see if we can guess it by the headlight. Looks like a BMW GS with those fog lights. Not quite sure. But if I leave off the bars a little bit, I feel like a sail. So you're holding on pretty good. Now let's just see, 80 right in 6th gear, roll on, 95 in a heartbeat. So power-wise, box is checked. Are there other more powerful bikes out there in this category? Absolutely. But like I said, dealer network, power sports dealers everywhere, so Kawasaki's are everywhere. Change the filter, change the oil, chain maintenance, and roll. Now I will say this, doing 80 on the highway, I don't feel like I'm getting blown side to side. So for as light a bike as it is, it does feel pretty planted. Now if a big 18-wheeler comes up, gives me that big old side draft, yeah, you're gonna feel that a little bit. But I also wear earplugs, or else this would be maddening with the noise. So as far as the Sport Naked goes, this is my least favorite part on these big old wide open highways getting blasted with the wind. But we're gonna head up, so you gotta go through this to get to the fun part. Should probably slow down a little bit. I'm doing 85. Now that's the other thing, it's so easy to go quick on this bike. So now let's bring it back down to, alright, 70. 70? Wind is very manageable. 66, 67, you know, speed limit numbers. Very manageable. And we're still in road mode. The switch gears on this, you know, turn signals, lights, super easy. Everything's right here. Normal, standard fare. It does have adjustable levers, so, you know, brake and clutch. It's a nice little feature for sure. But if you're looking for the Z900 and you're hemming and hawing, like I said, it's not a bike you're going to keep forever. Just go get it, have fun for a couple of years, and then get something else. It's exactly what I'm doing. Enjoying the experience. And if you pick an MT-09 or any of those other Sport Nakeds, you know, the Duke from KTM, the Aprilia Tuono, the Speed Triple from Triumph, the MV Agusta Brutale, whatever your price range is, they're all going to be fun. So, guy just pulled up behind me. It looks like a GS because of the fog lights. Can't really tell. But my opinion on a Sport Naked is awesome secondary bike for weekend shenanigans. Commuter option, not so much. I think you're going to go with something with more cargo and wind coverage, and there are so many options in that category. So alright, so here we are, got off that pesky highway, and we picked up a rider along the way on his 2016 BMW RS 1200. met him at the gas station. That's David, and he's got a route planned, and I said, I'll just follow you. So let's see where he takes us. Mystery ride. But, you know, when we're talking about the Z900 functionality, this kind of riding right here is what it was made for. Back roads, twisties. And fortunately, that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, when we get to the mountain, I'm going to put it in sport mode. And I'm going to ride within my own abilities. There are some of you watching this that probably ride way better than me. I'm your average moron. But, you know, if we're going to rate this bike, let's just go down some topics. So let's see, you know, comfortable, it's a sport naked. On a 1 to 10, 10 being best, comfortable. I mean, on a sport naked, it's kind of an oxymoron, right? I'll go 7. Wind protection shouldn't even be a category, so 0. Kawasaki, reliability, 10. Power, 9. Weight on this bike, 7.5. MTO9 is 50 pounds lighter. Do I feel it? No. Cockpit, TFT, user friendly, 9 out of 10. Handling, you know, zipping it in these corners. Again, depending on your riding skill, to me, I mean, this is a solid 8.5. It's just a really good bike. Suspension, this is not the SE version, this is stock. Suspension, you know, obviously these are set from the factory for somebody 170 pounds, so you got to get that dialed in for your own personal specs, so to speak. And once you do that, I think you'll find suspension is very formidable. So, you know, this isn't the bike where you're like, oh, you get buyer's remorse if you buy it because you spent $35,000 on it. It's a once-in-a-lifetime purchase, you know, like a CVO or something like that. This is your, I've had it a couple years. It's a lot of fun. It's a weekender. Blah, blah, blah. Sun is great, but when it creates shadows in the corner, not so much. You gotta be careful. Oh, so fun. Imagine if I was a half-decent rider. It'd even be more fun. Look at this road. Are you kidding me? Let's shift over and get that right cheek off the seat. problem is, this is the thing about the Z. It catches up, it makes up ground in a nanosecond. Pretty amazing. So well engineered. Look, climb that round. Climb. Alright, let's just listen to the engine. Back off. I don't want to push. It's bad bike etiquette. What a machine. Are you kidding me? Trail brake, downshift. It's coming up on here on the left, this HWK 10 gap. You know, so many bikes out there in this category. Choose wisely. And I'll see you in the twisties.